For 2 days, it had been raining heavily in the forest. All the animals were huddled in their homes. The rain brought an abrupt increase in cold, making it difficult for anyone to step outside. The bear, too, hadn't been able to go hunting for 2 days. Masha was growing weak from hunger. It seemed like the rain would continue for days. Masha was crying in hunger and had developed a fever. The bear sat on the doorstep, his head bowed in worry. "Why don't you go hunting?" Masha asked the bear. He glared at her angrily and said, "It's pouring outside. How am I supposed to find food?" Hearing this, Masha remained silent for a while. Then, after thinking, she gently said, "You might find some apples, some fruit, or maybe some strawberries, something for us to eat. You'll only find it if you go outside." The bear gazed at the relentless rain outside. After a while, Masha spoke again, "Please go out. I'm very hungry. Even if you find fallen fruits, just bring them." The bear remained silent. Little Masha quietly got up and, without informing the bear, stepped out into the rain. She remembered seeing a bunch of strawberries on a berry tree a few days ago. Determined, she set off in the rain, even though she hadn't eaten anything in 2 days. Suddenly, the rain intensified, but by then, she was halfway there and didn't want to return empty-handed. Dark clouds loomed overhead, and as she reached the berry trees, she forgot everything else. It had grown quite dark by now. Hail started to fall as she reached the strawberry tree. Despite her hunger and the harsh weather, she struggled her way to the tree. But when she got there, the bunch of strawberries was gone. The hailstorm grew fiercer, and she was soaked to the bone. Finding no strawberries only heightened her hunger. Feeling weak, she stood under a tree for shelter from the hail. Time passed, and she remained there. Meanwhile, the bear had grown restless looking for Masha. The same bear who had refused to step out in the rain was now wandering the forest in search of her. After some time, as the rain subsided slightly, Masha decided to head back home. She was freezing and trembling from the cold as she walked slowly. Looking around, she realized she had lost her way. Fear gripped her. Suddenly, she heard a voice calling her name. "Who's there?" she shouted. "Where are you?" It was the bear's voice. Moments later, the bear found her and carried her home in his arms. Masha was shivering from the cold and hunger. "I need to get her medicine," the bear said to himself. Though the rain had lessened, it was still drizzling. The bear muttered, "I'll go as soon as the rain stops." Dr. Fox, the oldest physician in the forest, had trained a young monkey doctor who now ran his own clinic. Dr. Fox, like the king of the jungle, the lion, had grown old and weak. Despite the cold, the forest animals often came to him for medicine, forcing him to make house calls even in his frail state. On that rainy night, someone knocked on his door, but Dr. Fox didn't have the energy to get up. "Who is it?" he called out irritably. "Doctor, my little one is freezing. Please give me some medicine or an herb to help her," came the reply. It was the humble bear. Dr. Fox said, "Go to Dr. Monkey. I'm not feeling well myself. I went to him, but he's asking for food in return for the medicine. I haven't eaten in 2 days, how can I give him anything?" The bear's plight moved Dr. Fox. He packed some food and accompanied the bear back to his home. When they arrived, Dr. Fox first gave Masha some honey, knowing it was excellent for the cold. Then he gave her wild fruits to eat. He had brought plenty, so everyone had a little. Following his instructions, Masha was given dried wild grass as a remedy, which helped stabilize her body temperature. Afterward, she was given medicinal herbs that made her fall asleep. The bear thanked God for the relief. By then, the rain had stopped completely. Dr. Fox felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing he had been able to help in such a difficult time. Even trudging back through the muddy forest didn't bother him. His heart was filled with joy,